Hey everyone, you are so welcome to Talk with the Missus. We are excited to be coming to you today, and we are sure that you will be thoroughly blessed.
Amen.
Talk with the Missus is a platform that blesses people across nations of the world. I mean, I was just speaking to someone today, and I was saying to them, I have observed that in the recent times, maybe in the last 1-2 years, there's hardly anywhere we go to or I go to, whether as an individual or for us as a couple, that we don't, stumble on somebody who says, your program, Talk with the Missus, we watch it, it's blessing us, and all kinds of people. And so it is just a joy to be able to come to you again today. And we believe that today will be a blessing.
Amen.
We started a conversation 2 weeks ago,
Yep.
and it was on the subject, this marriage can't continue like this. Just can't continue like this.
Yeah.
So we're going to pick up the part 2 of that conversation today. And I'm going to let Mrs. do some intros, and I am going to get on the business of sharing, share
Yes,
to get more people.
And then you'll get on that business as well, and then I'll get on that business as well, and
Exactly.
then we'll do this international sharing business together. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So happy and so glad to have you with us this evening. It's such a joy. It really, really is. We look forward to Talk with the Missus. Actually, it's something that we really like, because we know it's God's way of using us to help others, in our own unique way. You may not have the opportunity to have a sit down one-to-one conversation with us, but through this platform and through the discussions, somehow you find the answer to the issue that you were thinking of, or you were considering, or that you're going through, or someone else is going through. So because of that, and because the impact that it makes, really, we would love you to pick up your phone, your device, whatever you're watching us with, and start sharing, because you just never ever know. I say it all the time, but it's so true.
Yeah.
You don't know whose answer or whose question you are answering through this broadcast, and who is going to be, feeling lighter, feeling liberated, feeling like they actually have a solution to an issue that they're going through. So please get on it. Let's share today's broadcast. And even if you watch this and it's not live, share it again.
Yeah,
because
that's so true. Yeah.
it is the word doesn't die. The word of God, is their spirit and their life. Many years ago, they've been written even. And even every time you read it, it's still bringing life. So how much more all the things that God uses us to do in different ways. Let's share, because it's what would, help somebody. And we're in the business of helping.
Yeah, and also, it's amazing, because we're covering topics that you would not have discussed in church, but real issues, real problem that people are facing, and is a platform where you are actually just able to engage and just join in the chat, make your views known, ask questions. Like today, we're going to be dealing with, some of the questions we couldn't cover when we were here 2 weeks ago, and some of them are very, very sensitive questions. And here we just say it the way it is. So I am confident that somebody would be blessed by this broadcast.
Amen.
So you got to share and get people in. And please also let us know that you are online. Give a shout out in the comment section. And let us know you're online. Let us know where you're joining in from, so that we can give a shout out to you. All right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the missus is sharing as well.
Yeah, that's why my eyes are down. I feel like, I'm not.
I have not actually finished my sharing, but we will
systematically doing it.
Systematically doing it, and making sure that we are getting it all running. And I'm sure that it will be impactful for you. It will be impactful for your family, and impactful for everyone around you.
Amen.
Yeah, so get somebody to join in, and just be part of the conversation. What would be good is, let us know that you are online. Let us know where you are joining in from, like our beautiful sister Esther Ahile said, good evening, watching from Dublin.
Beautiful.
Nice to have you
Lovely
online.
to have you on.
God bless
Thank you.
And then we've got
Port Louise Agnes.
Yeah, who is saying, good evening, Pastor and Mrs. I'm live from Belgium.
Beautiful.
So she's joining in from Belgium. That's beautiful. And in case you're just joining in, let us know where you're joining from. Today, we'll be discussing the subject, this marriage can't continue like this, part 2.
Yeah.
And I think that when it comes to marriage, everybody wants to, and I believe this genuinely, everybody wants to enjoy their marriage.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to enjoy their marriage. But not everybody is enjoying their marriage. Unfortunately, some people's marriages, is a torture instead of being a pleasure. Yeah. I mean, you're married to enjoy life and not to endure life.
True.
But, somehow people get into marriage and a number of people end up, having to endure. And it's like the years that they're spending in the marriage
is dragging.
It's just the torture. It's just the pain. And, they're asking themselves a lot of questions. Is this what I signed up for? Is this what it's supposed to be? And all of those kind of stuff. So I think is what the conversation. So, you can't just say, well, and then some people just conclude and say, every marriage is bad. Every marriage is, there's no marriage that doesn't have trouble. And no marriage is perfect. I was thinking about this, and, I'll agree with you that no marriage is perfect because no human being is perfect.
Yeah.
It would take 2 perfect people to have a perfect marriage. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It would take 2 human beings that are perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any human being who will claim perfection.
Yeah.
We are work in progress. It would take 2 perfect people to have a perfect marriage.
Yeah.
But saying that no marriage is perfect, does not mean that every marriage has trouble. The truth is that you don't need perfect people to have a trouble-free marriage.
Yeah.
You don't need people to be perfect for you to have a trouble-free marriage. So when we try to excuse ourselves with, the troubles we have in our marriages and say, well, no marriage is perfect, so that gives room for trouble, why we should fight, why we should quarrel, why we should throw, stones at each other or throw the kitchen knife at each other. God forbid that you do that, or, give a slap on the wife or on the woman and all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse. You are an imperfect person does not mean that you should have a troubled marriage.
Yeah.
You are 2 imperfect people coming together can have a good marriage, can have a trouble-free marriage. So when there is trouble, it's like life is too short to spend it, on such platform of trouble. So you can have a good working marriage, even though you are an imperfect person. So we're going to look at some of the things that happens in marriage that really, people come to a point where like, what, this marriage,
I'm dealing with this.
No, I can't be dealing with this.
Yeah.
I don't know if what you want to contribute to that.
I mean, it's definitely does happen where you get to the point where, like, what is this? What, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up for happily ever after. What is this? This is misery, and I don't want it to continue. So it definitely is something that needs addressing. Really, what are those issues that are causing misery? What is it? What are the triggers? Who is the trigger? Is it you? Is it me? Like, what's going on? We can't be on this kind of toxic cycle and continue to be like this. Something has to change. Someone has to change. Something has to give. Is it something that is following you from your background? We need to deal with that in prayer. If it's not something that's following you from background, is it your character? Is it your behavior? Is it just, what is it? Because this can't be like this. Like you said, that nobody's perfect. Fine, understood, 100%. But God called us to be holy. He requires us to be holy. There's a level of righteousness, there's a level of right standing with your fellow human being, talk less of your spouse, that is needed and required to make sure that marriage actually does work. So we need to understand some things. We need to dig deep. We need to know what's going on so that we'll be able to practically deal with this. Practically, because sometimes there's too much fairy tale of I was expecting this, I was expecting breakfast in bed, whatever. You didn't get it. So let's deal with the reality now. Why is the marriage happening the way it is? Because like we said, we can't continue like this. There's some issues that are happening in people's marriages, and it's like, how could the man behave like this? Or how can the woman behave like this? Okay, we're dealing with the surface or the reaction, but what's behind this? What's causing this? What's bringing this about? So that we don't have to continue on this cycle. Because most times when something, like they say, the tip of the iceberg, when the tip of the iceberg is seen, it's only seen in a certain image. Maybe it was in an argument. Maybe it was in a reaction. Maybe it was in, behavior. But there's still so much more underneath it, that it can happen again and it can showcase itself in a different form. So let's deal with all those, things underneath that people don't see.
So people, share. You can see the social pages, like, share, and just get more people in so that they can be part of today's broadcast, and let us know that you are online. Give a shout out. We've got Mommy Victoria and Nelly, who have said hi, Pastor and Mrs. Nice to see you both, joining from North London, Mommy and Nelly.
Beautiful.
Good evening. God bless you. And then we've got Berta Emmanuel saying good evening, Papa and Mama.
Good evening.
Good evening. And please, all of you, get ready, because we have some real life questions and scenarios that we're going to discuss, and your input will be needed. Some of them are scenarios that people have sent to us. So we're going to try to answer the questions. This is Erica, who is saying good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Please let us know where you're joining in from.
Good afternoon, Erica.
Port Louis. Agnes said, at times we choose the wrong partner. So that's one of the key things. I think maybe that's a good place to start. We've got Usio Baifo, who have said, I love Pastor Omoviye so much. God bless and keep you. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you. We love you too.
Amen.
And we've got Deaconess Glory, who said, good evening, my pastor and beautiful sister Chioma. Another awesome time. God bless you.
Amen.
So I think one of the challenges with marriage is what Port Louis have said, choosing the wrong partner. I think that's the foundation of where the trouble actually starts. When you choose the wrong partner. And choosing the wrong partner, I want to say, may not necessarily be that the person is a bad person. It may just be that this person is not for you. Because it's true.
Not the fit for
it's
you.
True. It's not a fit for you, because if you choose or marry somebody who is not the fit for you, you will find out that most things about you would be irritating them. And they may also be finding it difficult to get over the things about you that irritates them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're with someone who is the right partner for you, they may be irritated by certain things about you or certain things that you do, but they will find it easier to be able to get over those things because of the fit, the love and the fit that you people. And by the way, it is possible to fall in love with the wrong person. So that's why I think when it comes to making a decision on who to marry, I don't think it should just be judged on the basis of I love him, he loves me. You know, I have feelings for him, he has feelings for me. Because I mean, if you think about it, you know, all your time through life, how many people have you had feelings for?
Yeah.
So think about it.
It's true.
How many people have you actually had feelings for? There is nobody who marries everybody that they have feelings for.
Yeah.
And in your time through life, from maybe when you got to like puberty, for example, when your hormones start developing in your body, as a young boy or a young girl in the later stage of primary school or your time in secondary school, college, think about it deeply. University,
all the different people,
people, you have definitely had feelings for so many people. Is that not so? It's true. It does not matter who you are.
You can't marry just on feelings.
So you can't marry just on feelings because, you know, I have feelings for him, you know, chemistry. I just feel drawn to him by chemistry. My dear, if we all marry all the chemistry drawn, you will have a lot of husbands, we have a lot of wives.
Problem.
That's the truth. So I think people have to come to a point where they understand that marriage is a choice. You have to almost, yes, you have the emotion, the heart of emotions overwhelming you, but you have to almost put that emotional heart to the side a bit and make what I may call a logical decision, a practical decision on does my life and this person's life fit? Do our values align? Do our values align?
The alignment.
Yes. Do we even when we are Christians, do we believe in God the same way? Do we believe in the same things?
There's some people that say, your own is too much. Your own is too spiritual. Your own is too,
you know, do they have, are their doctrinal views, you know, opposite to mine? Do you understand? What is their perception about life? How do they, you know? So you almost have to overcome. Let me put it this way. Your attraction draws you to the person, but the attraction should not be what is making the decision. Attraction is just to bring you into the room. But you must wear
you see the person.
To see the person. But you must then wear a logical heart in making judgment of decision. And what is more, you must wear the godly heart to get some direction from God. Because when you choose the wrong partner, it's like you are marrying a man that have been made for someone. It's like you are putting the engine of a motorbike in a Lexus car. Do you understand what I'm saying?
They're both engines, but one does
not
work.
They are both engine.
Don't fit.
But one doesn't fit. Or you go and carry the engine of a Peugeot car and put it on an airplane, Boeing 747. There would be problem. There would be big problem. So I think that this is the foundation of everything, you know, and we need to educate, you know, single men, single women that are wanting to get married or are thinking about it, because these days there's a lot of Instagram decision making.
Yes.
Just all those kind of,
just based on looks and fictional things that don't matter.
Yeah. So, and by the time you are married, you discover that the marriage, cannot function like that. So it doesn't mean that if you meet the perfect person, you may not have one or two challenges, but you would have solved a big percentage of the potential challenges that could occur later. Amen.
Wow. Okay, let me just more shout outs. So we've got Peter says good evening from Ilorin, Nigeria. God bless you, Peter. And also have Alex Sonia says good evening from Delta State.
God bless you.
And then Erica Rose said that she's joining from Miami, Florida.
Oh, lovely.
God bless you, Erica.
Nice to have you online.
Yeah, good to have you. Wingji says, good evening, Pastor and Sister Chioma. We are glad to be joining in from Essex. And we're glad that you and Essex are joining in too. Esther says, lack of courtship before marriage. Very crucial.
Yeah.
Very crucial. A lot of people are so much in a hurry to get married that they don't realize the true value and the importance of courtship. Courtship is not the time where you're now going to sample the person, whether do they really fit, do they not really fit, but it's to understand who they are. Or actually what I said is, do they actually fit? Is this person meant to be for me? Do our value systems align? Are we heading in the same direction? Do I have an understanding of what he expects from me as a wife? Does he have an understanding of and vice versa? So that understanding of each other that will make the marriage work properly. It's like courtship is like the oil that would be used to make sure that the engine of your marriage actually runs smoothly. So it's very, very important. A lot of some people I've noticed as well, some guys particularly, they will try to rush the courtship. I don't understand why. Why some guys they'll say, okay, this church is doing courtship for 6 months, but this one is doing it for 1 month. Let's go for the 1 month. Let's go for the one. There's that kind of rush.
I get what you mean.
And hasty kind of thing that some people go through. But at the end of it all, you also see that sometimes the person doesn't have good intentions. So maybe it's a reflection of their end game. Okay.
So God.
Moses from Basingstoke, UK. God bless you.
Bless you. Thank you for joining in.
Daddy Fidel says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too. Port Louise Agnes says, education also plays a big role. It sure does.
It sure does.
It's exposure.
Exposure.
Yeah, definitely does. Pastor Andrew says, good evening, my pastor. Good evening to you
God
too.
God bless you. He said, thank you, son, ma, for this teaching.
Oh, God bless
thank you. All right, do you want to read from Moses?
Yeah, Moses just says, I think it's a moment. You know what it does? Says, putting Peugeot engine into Boeing 747, the aircraft will not fly.
Exactly.
It won't.
It won't fly.
It won't fly at all.
Yeah.
And then James says, good evening, Pastor and Sister Chioma. Good evening to you too, James. Yeah, I mean, it's a very crucial topic and discussion that we're having here.
Yeah.
We need to understand, do you actually fit with this person?
Because, and that's before you get married.
A lot of the issues would be resolved if you actually made the right choice in the first place.
And I think one of the things that can help you in your fit with the person, like we said, it shouldn't be based on emotions, chemistry. And I think if we just reason, like we said, you've had attraction to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You did not marry
everyone.
So so when you are trying to define fit then, because obviously at that early stage of courting and all of that, or just seeing each other, dating each other, there's a lot of emotion. You need a lot of stable heads around you who are not caught up in the emotions that you are caught up in, to give you godly advice,
Yeah.
godly counsel, and just guide you also on what to look at for, what questions to ask, and also observe the person, and be able to give you their honest feedback. And you should give them the license. Give them the license to give you honest feedback, even when they think that you may be hot, that it may hurt you what they're going to say, but it gives you something to work with. So I think that's fine. But let's say we progress. So okay, you've made the judgment, whether it was the right judgment or it was the wrong judgment in choosing a partner, but you are now in the marriage and there is just chaos, there is just problem, and you're coming to a point where you're saying to yourself, you know what, this marriage just can't continue like this. I am at a make and break point. And what are some of the things that creates that? And I think we have some questions that came. I think maybe it's a good time to go to some of those questions. One of the questions we had when we're doing part 1, which we couldn't answer that day, which I want to read that to you, and I'd like all of you to join in answering. The person said, Pastor, if a man, actually, I think maybe we'll try and put it up so that you can see it. Yeah, so as we read it, you can actually see the question. So this person is asking, we'll put it up, don't worry, media will have it up. It's a pastor, if a man or a woman goes abroad and in the name of getting papers is now living with that person, should the other person continue to believe they have a marriage? So basically, a man travels abroad, so they leave their home country, go to another country, and they are now looking to get their resident permit, and they've gone into this, let's call it a contract marriage. It's not remarriage, or they've just moved in with a lady, because some countries that recognize partnership. Should the lady believe that they are married? The lady is moved in with. That's one part. That's where I'm interpreting this. It could also be, should the lady they left back home believe that they are married?
So we've got home country wife and new country wife.
Yes.
to help us with understanding this. Well, the home country wife, what stopped him from being the husband? Is it just a relocation and being in the arms or in the home of the new country wife? It doesn't actually legally or even spiritually, he has not, there has not been anything that is severed the relationship
between him and the wife from his home country.
It's just a relocation of it's just a location change. It's not actually a marital change or anything like that. But being that he has, let's say he married the home country wife, whether it's a civil wedding or common law wedding or a traditional wedding, let's say there's some level of wedding that is recognized.
So they were both married in the home country before he left to go abroad.
To then go abroad.
And now he's abroad and he's in the arms of another woman abroad. Is he still, should the woman back home still consider him
as the husband?
I think yes.
I think so, because nothing has changed in the terms of marital status. He has now entered into a new relationship which he shouldn't have entered into. It's an adulterous relationship. If it's something that he was actually married to the home country wife, this new relationship is an adulterous relationship. But because somebody is in an adulterous relationship, doesn't now nullify the original relationship that he had, marital relationship that he had with his home country wife.
Unless they've broken the marriage and they've divorced, as the case may be. But should the woman who is in the home country consider herself to still as a married woman? Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Because she's married to this man.
Yeah.
This man is
just going abroad and messing up. But it's not that she's not.
Yeah.
She's not
the man could as well also be in the home country with her
yeah.
and be messing up.
It's true.
Does not mean that she's not the wife. Yeah. She only stopped being the wife. But let us say now that this man is not married in his home country. Yeah. He's a young man. He's moved abroad, and in the escapades of trying to get his documents, he's moved in with this lady. Yeah, because he can get the document. He believes he can get the document through this lady.
Fast track.
Yeah. Should the lady, believe that she has a husband?
So hold on. The home country one is not married.
There is no home country.
Okay.
This is a young man. He traveled from his country abroad. Okay. And then he's now moved in with a lady.
Okay, there's no woman before. Okay.
No.
Right, okay.
He's now moved in with a lady with the believing that he will get paper through her.
This contract wife.
Yes. So should this lady live with the impression that she's got a marriage with this man?
Does she know that he's coming with the intention of gaining his documents through her, or she doesn't know? Because I think that plays some sort of role. Because there's some that they would know, the man will tell them, that some will even pay a woman to now, become the
which
wife.
Is something that should really not be doing.
Yeah, I mean,
but it happens.
It happens, but it's wrong. It's how can you trade your whole destiny and your whole life just for a flimsy piece of paper? That country, they're not, it's not the queen or the king or whoever is now going to welcome you and say, "Oh, my dear citizen, welcome." There's nothing wonderful or royal or, so glamorous about becoming a UK citizen or a US citizen or anything like that. So why do people trade their life and their destiny just to become a citizen? The level of desperation is too much for me. You can get to those levels a different and a more noble and a more righteous way. That aside, anyway, the question: should that woman see herself as a wife? In that kind of scenario, it's clear that he doesn't intend her to be a wife. His intention is to use her. Is use her, which is a fraudulent intention. Yeah, it's like when some people, let's say they're leaving their home country, a young person is leaving their home country, a young girl, for instance, and the aunties or the uncles of that young girl will now come to the parents and say, "Oh, we're going to take your child, we're going to help establish them in abroad, and we're really going to help everything." The parents are thinking, "Oh yeah, this is wonderful. Oh, what a savior, you've just saved our entire family." They take this child, and what do? They put her into prostitution. They now take her passport away from her, and they now do, or even if it's not prostitution, they just make her a slave in the house. And this person is now going to serve us as a house whatever for the rest of her days until we decide that we don't want her anymore. We throw her away. So would that person now see this arrangement as something that helped them or harmed them? Even the nation here, because I know of a case where the government said, "Oh, we've come to discover that you are a victim of modern day slavery." So it being that even a government system can understand that the intentions were not pure, they were not clean, they were not clear, and you have become a victim. I personally feel that in that scenario, the lady has become a victim of the man's manipulative or fraudulent means to try and win something through her, being his residency through her. So I don't think she's a wife.
Yeah, I mean, I want to come in to say, look, when someone comes to you and they want to be in your life, the intention, the original intention, is important that the original intention is known.
Yeah.
Yes, we do know that somebody can come to a lady and, let's say, quote unquote, his intention was, oh, this lady is settled. She's got her papers. I can get my papers through her. And maybe in the process, he falls in love with her and the two of them actually genuinely marry. But don't count on that. No. The reason I say don't count on that is you can only count on the original intention of the individual. Yeah. So if you are a lady and a guy comes to you and from the onset, he's saying, I don't have my papers here, but you can help me and all of that, blah, 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 blah. Then he moves and you allow him to move in with you. Please, you will be deceiving yourself. If at any time in the course of that, let's call it relationship, you think that, this is now my forever. No. If there's ever going to be a forever, it would have to come from the guy, because he's told you initially what his intention is or was. So if that intention has changed to like, oh, you know what, I'm really interested in you, it's going to have to come from him. But you also have to make sure that you are not pressurizing that out of him to say, oh, what is it? We've been here. You've been living with me now for 1 year. I'm helping you for your papers. Why is this so difficult? We've lived well together. We don't have any issues. Why can't we? I know, yes, we already. Why can't you? There's a way you will pressure him. He will say, okay. But that okay does not really mean that. Exactly. You will not know until he gets his papers and then he now actually plays what is in his heart, whether he really wants to be with you or not. So I'm saying, don't assume marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage is not assumed. I can't then be assuming that
he's going to marry me.
Yes, he's going to marry me, or he is my wife. We've been living to. You cannot assume. Yeah. Marriage is not something you assume. Yeah. It is either you are married or you are not married.
Yeah.
It's either, do you understand? So never assume, even if somebody is your friend, the both of you have become very close. You share fun moments together. Maybe somebody of the opposite gender. And you still don't assume. Don't assume. Because there are a lot of people who have had their hearts broken by people who don't even know that they broke their heart. And by the time you now really investigate, you say, but did he tell you that he's going to might say, no, but the way he was behaving around me, oh no, but the way, when I call him, he responds and he's always there for me and all of that. We're always talking, we were like an item. You don't assume those things.
Yeah, some people assume relationships.
Yes, you cannot. You just cannot assume relationship. You will be shooting yourself on the foot if you assume it.
Okay, but in that kind of scenario, how early is too early for a lady to now say, what's going on here? Where do I fit in your life? Do you know what I mean? Because since it's not good to assume, and it's very catastrophic in some cases for you to assume anything.
Yeah.
When is it appropriate to now have that conversation of what am I to you? Where do you see me? No. Where do you see us? Is there a us? Because you don't want to invest your emotions into something that the guy, it was not even an investment. It was just walking, it wasn't something there to consider. So how does a woman now deal with that and not get herself burnt?
No, I get what you're saying. I think it's very simple and I think it's very easy. Let's say you're close to a guy. The guy is close to you. And you as a lady, you come to a point where you discover that you are becoming emotionally attached to the guy. once your emotions start playing in, you know that the risk factor
it's increasing,
is coming into play. There's nothing wrong with, you know, you tell the guy, look, I know we're both so close. Please don't get me wrong. You know, it's just to also help me in dealing with our friendship. We're getting so close, you know, we're holding hands. We are there. We may not even be holding hands, but I'm gradually,
just emotions.
I'm just gradually discovering that my emotions are getting invested in this. You just pick the words. Don't say I'm getting emotionally drawn to you.
This I love you.
No, that's too much. You say I'm beginning to discover that my emotions, it's like my emotions are beginning to get invested in our friendship. And just for me to be able to help keep my own emotion in check, I just want to know what is it about what's going on. You know, is there an us? Is there this, that? And I want you to be, you know, honest with me, so that it helps me in my dealings with you, and also helps you, so that none of us. There's nothing wrong with that conversation.
So in that kind, if it's put in that kind of way from the lady to the man, no man here, even on this platform now, is gonna like back off and think, whoa. Like if let's say his actual genuine response was, wow, I don't even look at you that way. Would he see that conversation as a hard conversation to have, or would he be able to just have that conversation and they will be able to move on and still remain friends? Or is this the end now?
No. People are different. People respond differently, but a matured man, should be able to respond, because the way you have come with that question,
you didn't come on emotionally
crying. You didn't come on emotionally crying. The way you've come with that question would say, you know, you said, look, I just want to understand so that I know how to manage myself in our friendship. The man would say, well, you know, actually I don't look at you that way. You are my bestie, blah 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 blah. She would say, okay, you know, I'm happy that you've made that. And she can go for that to say, I hope this does not, you know, destroy our friendship, because I actually do enjoy, value and enjoy our friendship. I just needed to have a proper definition and clarity of the friendship. And the man will say, no, it doesn't. And then just be normal. But it helps you then to be able to position yourself. Just in the same way, you could have such a friendship, and it's the man who is getting emotionally. And then at a point, the man will come and speak to the lady, you know, I mean, what is it? We're close. This is that. And the lady said, no. I don't see you that way. You know, I'm happy for us to be friends. I love our relationship and all of that. And if the lady is matured and the man is matured, they can still run their friendship. So I think that is the perspective that it should be looked at from. But I don't think you should ever assume a relationship.
It's not helpful.
All right, I'll go to the next question.
All right.
The next person said, my question is this: as a man of God, and people, please send us your responses, because I noticed many of you are just listening to us. Send us your response. Send it through the comment section, okay? We want to hear from you. The next person asked, my question is this: as a man of God, do you support someone staying in an extremely abusive marriage in the name of God says no divorce? Sorry, not meaning to put you on the spot. So what do you think? You know, and take note of the word. They're basically saying extremely abusive marriage. I think we need to understand that there are people who have died. The people who have literally been killed by their husbands, and people who have been killed by their wife. And at that point, there's no more marriage.
There's no more life.
There's no life. There's no marriage.
There's no anything.
You know, so you'd be like, I want to save my marriage. I want to save my marriage.
Yeah, but there's no marriage to save.
But there's no marriage to save. There's no life. You lose marriage. You lose life. And, if you have young children, the young children become motherless. The man would probably, if it's a man who is abusing, the man probably marry another woman
or
go to prison, and the children have no father, they have no mother. Or if the man doesn't go to prison, marry another woman, no woman can raise your children better than you do, because women, it's true. It's true. Tell yourself the truth. There are things you can tolerate with your own children that you can't tolerate with other people's children. If you women want to tell yourself the truth, it's just the truth.
Yeah. Tell us.
So so you have to look at all of those pictures. If it's the woman that's abusing the man, the man dies. She goes on and marries another. She can go on and marry another guy, because she's probably tormenting the man in the first place because she's got iron, and then marry this guy. God help you if that man is not a good man. We have heard of children that have been killed by their mother and stepfather. If you have daughters, that man can be sleeping with the mother and sleeping with the daughters. So there's all kind of confusion and catastrophe that then comes into play. So I do think that where there is, extreme abuse, you're hearing the word, and I think I like the way the person put the question. They've said extreme abuse, because you see, when some people just say, oh, the way he talked to me, and then they just pack their load, I can't stay in this marriage, just verbal abuse. What did he say? He said, I'm stupid.
That was a verbal abuse.
Exactly. Do you understand? Am I saying that should he say you are stupid? No. But some people are looking for excuse
to
leave their marriage. So they say, oh, Pastor Moses said, if I'm extreme abuse, I can leave. I can't take this anymore. Before I lose my brain, let me just pack my bag, my dear. Pastor Moses is not taking that. No, it's true, because human beings, when a human being's heart is set on doing something that their conscience,
they're finding anything
they can hang on
to back them,
to execute it. But if you are under extreme abuse, which some people have died, don't sit down there. As a matter of fact, don't even cover it.
I think that's the worst.
The first thing, don't cover it. Speak out to the authorities. Don't cover it.
Nobody wants to lose their home. Nobody wants to lose their marriage.
But
there's some things that you would, like you said, you will still lose, even if you stay. In an extreme abusive home, you will still lose this marriage. Because life now is at stake. So I don't think it's something that you should be looking to protect. In a way of cover up, like love covers a multitude of sins. This is not a love matter. This is not a covering up. This is somebody that's abusing you and threatening your life.
Somebody's choking you to kill you. There have been situations like that, being choked, to kill them. I will kill you. And you can see that this person, they are actually going to kill.
It's abusive. Look at I can't remember his name. Is it something Oscar Proloris or the person from South Africa that was amputee? The one that was is an athlete. Is an athlete. Is a runner or something. He's so good in his like the disabled level, that he was now doing it with the non-disabled people, the main Olympics. So he now, if we remember the story, I think it was like 2012 or something, so long ago now, he killed his girlfriend, shot her dead, I think 3 times or something, in the middle of the night. He's now making all stories. Oh, he thought it was a burglar. He thought it was this. He thought it was that. Clearly, it was nothing to do with that. He was just abusive. There's people that have a hot temper, hot anger, that they cannot control themselves. He was now in that state. He couldn't control himself, and he killed this lady dead. It's a girlfriend, not even.
And some of them, really, the anger is not really about you. It's just they have an anger in them. Some of them is a spirit.
Oscar Polaris.
Yeah, some of them is a spirit. Because when certain people do certain things, you know that a normal human being will not be doing something like this.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I see certain videos of certain people that I don't know whether they are nannies babysitting young children, and you will see the person will carry the child, use the child to hit the ground.
Exactly.
If even you is watching the video, you'll be feeling
like that kind of like
yes, we slap the child, kick the child.
You know,
looking at but thinking to yourself, is this person, is their brain normal? Such a person, obviously they are not normal. They are not. Something is wrong with them. They have there is a spirit. So there are people like that.
Yeah.
There are people like that. So you can't. And let us, with advancement in medicine, we've also discovered that not everybody who wears suit, does makeup, walking on the street has
mental
capacity. They may speak the right English, know how to treat you in a dinner date, open the door, but their mental capacity may be twisted. They are probably a psycho, they have a mental health problem, but you don't know.
You don't know it.
You don't know. And so you end up with marrying this person. They are manifesting some of these things, and you think, oh, you're making excuses. Oh, maybe it's what I've done. Oh, I offended him and all of that. Some of those people have mental health issues.
Exactly.
Undiagnosed mental health issue.
Yes.
And it is until they kill somebody that thing, the day they will now take, you haven't heard of people who have killed someone, when they now take them to court, before they will go for their case, they will go for a doctor to examine them. Then the doctor will now come up with a report that, oh, they have mental health problem, this is that was not diagnosed. And they are not going to prison, but the person who has been killed is dead. So if you are in an extremely violent, abusive relationship, you should, one, seek don't just pack your load, say with divorce, because you see, human beings too, you just, no, I'm moving out of this marriage. No. Seek. The first thing is, don't keep quiet.
Yes.
Seek people who are higher than you to speak to.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Open up to them. This is what is happening. What are we ashamed about? What are we ashamed about? Do you understand? If there's a boil on your bum, you go to the hospital, will you not put your trouser down for them to deal with the boil?
You open up your yash.
Exactly.
Open up the bum cheeks.
Yeah. If you are stooling and you're stooling blood, and the doctors are not sure what is happening, will they not open your bum to
microscope?
Yes, inside. So what are you ashamed of that you were slapped? You were, mention it to people. I'm not saying go and be announcing on BBC. No. Mention to people who can then advise what to say. They will tell you that at this stage, this is what you should do. And I think that is the best way to go about this. Yeah, we've got a lot of comments. I think let's read them. Okay, let's get you reading.
Hold on. Get me reading. Okay, so Paul Louise Agnes says, when you are married, you need to realize that you are no longer single and that you need to change your ways of doing things. You are two now. Yeah. Yep. Or in fact, you're even one now. So you make it fit into the person. All right. Chioma says, amazing answer on the lady approaching the guy in a matured way to save her emotions.
Yeah. It's very important. Yeah, it's very important because there are a lot of ladies that are suffering with their emotions, and then the guy is treating you like something is going to happen, and you yourself, you are invested. Don't assume, because you'll be punishing yourself, and it's not a good place to be. All right.
Yeah. David says, Pastor, kudos to you both. I think leaving one spouse in the home country, home based, and establishing a new relationship in whatever name called can be considered grounds for divorce. Home-based may agree out of poverty. Oh, that's another dimension. Or presence of children, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
A true Christian man will not do it.
Say last, they go return home.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will return home based.
The return home-based bride.
Oh yeah, the home-based bride price.
Return the home-based bride price. Yeah.
When away based has fully completed her signing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be mindful.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Daddy Fidel who have said the thing is we can't really get that perfect balance in a person. However, there should be something to work with that will make the relationship better and stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We've got Agnes Port Louis who have said, my perspective is no. Despite you need to save your marriage, God does not permit abusive marriage. As what you vow at the altar, there was no form of abusive which mentioned. So don't stay to kill yourself. I think that's basically
yeah. Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah, when you were referring to that.
Yeah.
Said he was jealous of his girlfriend. You can imagine that. Okay, so we've got Chipo Jacqueline who have said, Pastor Moses, you once said in our South London branch, any woman or man who stays in an abusive marriage does not love themselves. It's true. Yeah. You don't love yourself. Yeah. Glory, they said, you don't have to wait for an abuse to get extreme before leaving. Once a man starts to abuse, don't stop. Please run and talk about it later. And she said, please don't wait for an abuse to get to the I think it's the same thing. Yeah. Before leaving, once an abuse starts, run and talk about it later and seek advice. I think seeking advice is very crucial.
I think it is, and I think as well, I get very weary or very concerned when people enter into relationships and nobody knows about it.
Yeah,
for years. It's for me, it's a very strange thing.
Nobody knows about it. Nobody knows the person.
Yes.
People in your family haven't met the person.
Yeah.
Your church, if you're a church person, your church leaders and all of that haven't met the person. The only people who know the person are your group of friends.
Yeah, and your friends.
Your group of friends that all of you go for maybe dinner or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take. Oh my God, time is. Can we discuss the other one?
By His grace, yes.
Should we try?
Please.
Okay. All right. So there's another scenario that been painted, and I'm going to narrate it, and I'd like all of you, to comment, and let's do this one quickly because of our time. So basically, you have a woman who lives, let's say she lives in the Western world. She's married. She's had 6 children for her husband. And, some of the children she's had through C-section, others through normal delivery. But unfortunately, each of these 6 children have died, after having them maybe a few months or I don't know, after some time.
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
They die and buried. And over 20 years. Yeah. Well, no, not over 20 years of marriage. Yeah. But been married for some time. Then suddenly, the husband goes back to his home country. Yeah. And brings a lady over to the country where they reside, saying that, when he was a teenager, this lady was his friend, and he had promised her that he was going to marry this lady. And so Because of that, you know, the lady refused to marry for over 20 years. Listen, refused to marry for over 20 years. This is a lady who, you know, like not primary school, secondary school. Yeah, secondary school lovers. I will marry you. We'll be together forever, blah, 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 blah. She refused to marry for over 20 years. The husband then brings her to his country, to wherever country that they're in. And, you know, the husband impregnates this lady. This lady have 2 children for the man. And then the man, you know, moves out of the house that he shares with his wife to go and now start living with this lady that has the 2 children for him. But still, the man claims that his wife now, the original wife that lost the 6 children, you know, is still his wife, and he has not divorced her. She cannot go anywhere. She cannot marry anybody, you know, contact her family. And what do you think? Where does this woman stand? Because now she's alone in this house by herself. She's lost 6 all these children. The man,
marriage as well.
She's lost marriage, but the man is not saying that they've lost the marriage. She don't. The man says that she's my wife. The other woman is living as a single mother in the country, claiming, but these 2 children she's had for this man, and the man is living with her. Where does she stand? Is she his wife or not? And that whole thing sounds like there's a demonic undertone. There's probably something that the husband,
sounds like a blood covenant that they enter.
There's something the husband is not even telling her, because she's had 6 children, and the 6 children have died mysteriously buried. Did the husband enter a blood covenant?
I think so.
A blood covenant with that lady? And is it that blood covenant that had made that lady for over 20 years of this man not being, they've all moved on their whole life. She's refused to marry, maybe because she knows the implication of the blood covenant, and she's used it against the man, which has now affected, you know, the woman that he married and the children. So I think there is something there, and this woman is just caught in the web of these 2 people who were teenage lovers. I don't know what you guys think. And what would you say to that woman?
It's a very hard one. It's a very hard one, because we're talking of somebody that has spent their marital life invested into somebody that has now moved on without them. He's moved on to another relationship. He's moved on. He's had children in this other relationship, you know, and he's moved on, but he's refusing her to also move on. He's moved on, you know, he's moved on, because even if he was to say, okay, they're still married, because they've done the traditional, they've done the white wedding, they've done every kind of the wedding that is meant to be done. He done it with his wife, the original wife, but he's moved on and he's defiled the bed. He's, you know, had adultery with somebody else. You know, if we was to speak about it scripturally, she can get a divorce because he has, you know, defiled the marital relationship.
So she's within the right.
She's within, But is that what she wants to do? That's another question. Does she want to move on? Because really everything is kind of, the ball is kind of in her court. If she doesn't want to move on, then how does is this something that she can forgive him for? Is this something that he can stop?
And will he also be willing to open up?
Can he leave that other relationship as well? We're talking of 2 children now. He's now has, you know, his, if you like, if he was whoever he could be, the people that, next of kin and all those kind of things that are laying hold to his potential inheritance is nothing to do with her. Is now his children. So it's very messy. But how does she want to continue? Does she want this guy? If she does, then she could, if she wants. But personally, I can't advise people to say, okay, if it was me, I'll do this, I'll do that, because it's not. And I don't know how emotionally you are tied with this person. But if you did want to leave, you could leave. If you did want to stay, there's ways for you to stay. But if you do stay, what impact would it make on you? Even you spiritually, because there appears to be things that are hovering around you that are not in a good spiritual state. So we don't know which kind of means or which kind of length some people can go to try and take you out of the picture. So it's all those, you have to really, open your eyes to know exactly what it is that you want to do, and spiritually and, with prayer, back it up to now pursue which way you want to go.
All right, I'm going to read some of the comments online, but before I do that, I want to say, assuming that woman is watching, and we really wanted to deal with that question as well today. This is what I'm going to say. I think you need to make a decision. And the decision for you would be, if you want, you say, you know what, I've married this man, I want my husband back, and I want to live with him, and I can forgive him for what has happened, and I know he has 2 children outside, and I don't mind still being in marriage with him. If that's what you want, then you need serious prayers. You would need to seek for a prayer of deliverance, both for the man and also for yourself, because there is something definitely spiritually wrong. You're not a barren woman. You've been pregnant 6 times. You've carried pregnancy for 9 months 6 times and delivered 6 different children. You've done deliveries through C-sections. You've done through normal birth. So you're not barren, but something is contending. And your husband may actually know what it is. That's true. So if the decision is that you want to stay, then not just staying that, the man came, okay, I forgive you, love you. No, because you may end up losing your life. Do you understand? Whatever they used to kill those children, they can use it to kill. So prayer, fire prayer, it will be needed. That's one. Then if you decide that no, you want to, you leave, because it looks like this man, even though he was with you, it's like he was already married to this lady more than 20 years ago, by whatever covenant the 2 of them entered into. So going back to bring her, after being away from her for 20 years, bring her into the home country, now impregnates her twice to have 2 different children moving with her. It's like a union that have been existing. So even if it was not a union that had been existing, he's gone into adultery and all of that. And when you read the scripture, if you were to step out to say, look, let me move on and live my life. If God gives me a man who is willing to marry me, thank God I'm not a barren woman. I will be fruitful and have children and be able to do that. So you need to make a decision. And I think the earlier you can make those decisions, I'm assuming that you're still in an age bracket where you are still fertile as a woman, because you do want to have children and be able to raise your own children. So I think you need to make, one of the decisions. Whatever decision you make, you will not be wrong in the decisions that you make. Categorically, to say to you, do A or do B, I can, but I don't want to. Yeah, it's not like I honestly, in my head, somebody asked me, what do you think she should do? I know what I would tell you to do, but I don't want to do that online. So let's read some of the comments.
Yeah. So Queen says, I think it's the lady she brought that might have done something about the main wife's children dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very possible.
I believe you too, Queen.
I believe that.
I will say that the woman should move on and return the bride price. If she wants to move on. Yeah.
I think it's still down to what you want to do.
Yeah. Says, I consider this as disrespectful. The first wife needs to seek for God's intervention.
Yeah, we've got
Better, she says, let me get to that comment, sorry. Better says, there is something definitely spiritual. However, the lady should engage in some fire prayers if she still decides to stay in the marriage. Some yokes needs to be broken. Oh, yeah. However, if she decided to walk away, she is not wrong.
Agnes says,
seek for a divorce. Just straight to the point. Bridget, she says, if she loves her husband and she wants to remain in the marriage, she should pray seriously for God to expose every secret that is hidden, after which she should go out of the marriage and move on. So if that doesn't work, if you don't say she should japa, just carry a leg and leave. Some people can be very demonic.
And then we got Bridget.
Also depends.
It also depends. So it really depends
on her. It depends on what you want to do.
Yeah. So, but either way, whatever you decide to do, you will not be wrong. I think that's the consolation you should have. Whatever you decide to do, you'll not be wrong. The man cannot eat his cake and have it.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do this one? Our time is gone,
People, if you don't mind, we'll do one more.
All right, let's read this. This person said, if one partner gets into adulterous relationship and these try to openly attack the marriage partner emotionally by pointing physically or by words at their workplace, how should the abused one handle this? Okay, I don't get that.
Let me read it again. Okay.
Yeah.
If one partner gets into an adulterous relationship and these try to openly attack the marriage partner emotionally, and then both of them try to attack the innocent person emotionally by pointing, being physical or words at their workplace or wherever, for example, how should the abused one handle this? Or how should the victim handle this?
So you have a partner who has gone into an adulterous relationship,
and then two of them are now ganging up against
you. Both the partner and the lady or side chick or side guy are now coming to abuse this person in the workplace. That's a serious matter.
So how should they now handle it?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think there are certain level of abuse that the only way you can stop them is to report to the authorities. Unfortunately, it is the truth. There are certain kinds of abuse that the only way you can stop it is to report to the authorities. And the authorities would put a restraining order on those who are abusing you. But
then with that, the sense of discreet, kind of things that just goes out of the window. But then you have.
But what's discreet? They're not. They're coming to abuse you in your workplace. There's no.
It's gone now.
The discreet is gone.
Discretion has gone.
Discretion has already been left the building. So I think you would have to take some action on restraining order. Otherwise, you have the partner coming to abuse you. You have the person they've cheated with coming to abuse you. You are the one that was wronged. You are now the one suffering.
It's not good.
No.
Okay. It is.
All right, I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we've spoken so much, and this topic still we're on the surface. We're still on the surface because I wanted to discuss things like, this marriage cannot continue like this. I want to discuss things like the roles within a marriage where one person is not.
We'll discuss in the next episode.
Where one person is not doing the role, that they're meant to be doing. Maybe the husband is not providing the way he's meant to be providing, or emotionally, or the woman, just I wanted to go there.
Yeah, we'll go there. We'll go there when we do the next episode in 2 weeks. In fact, when we start that episode, you just start from there. Start from there. So that before we go somewhere else, we would have dealt with that. But I think it was good that we were able to answer some of the questions that we received. And feel free to send questions in, because we've learned a lot from the questions that we've had today.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, where do I send these messages to? I want to send a message. +44 7832 605 473. So that's the WhatsApp number. So send it to that. +44 7832 605 473. We'll put it at the end of the screen, or we'll put it on the comments so that you'll be able to do that. But in terms of final words, there's a lot that we've learned and a lot that we've discussed and a lot that we've gone through. It's important that if anyone is in a marriage that is, not going so well as they had thought, for whatever reason, take stock, try and understand why. If it's something that, realistically you shouldn't stay in, let's say abuse, let's say spiritual undertone, let's say all kinds of things, then find a way to speak to somebody, as well as, get safety. Safety you have to get. You cannot stay somewhere that is going to ultimately destroy you or even kill you. So it's important to value your life, and also find a way, a godly way to seek and navigate yourself in a way that would get you to a better place. If that better place is with your spouse, we're now, reunited and in a better place, fine. If it's by yourself, then also fine. But the important thing is to find safety. Find safety. You cannot have a marriage when you're dead. So it's important to find safety and to ensure that you are in a good place. As well as that, emotionally, if you're like battered and scattered and all kinds of bad kind of situations, even if you're in the marriage physically, emotionally you are not. So find a way to find yourself even in that difficult time.
All right, people. So you've heard it all. We trust in God that, you have learned something this evening and that somebody has been helped by the discussion. We would go even deeper in our next episode.
Yeah.
If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we want to encourage you to do that. The FMC TV YouTube channel. Go and click the subscribe button there now.
Yeah.
Also, Pastor Moses GCF YouTube channel. Then we've got Facebook. We've got FMC Online Facebook page. Follow us there. And then also Instagram for our church is fmc.church. That's our Instagram page. And then for Pastor Moses GCF, Instagram is the same handle name, Pastor Moses GCF, everywhere. So do that and God bless you.
Amen.
Share today's broadcast. It will just help somebody. Like it. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube so they can recommend it to others. And we believe that you will be doing a lot of people good just by doing that. The Lord bless you. We love you guys. It's always a pleasure for us to come to you. Don't forget to join us for the Anzam Privé prayers tomorrow morning. It's going to be a wonderful time. The prayer this week is the ordered blessing is mine. And I believe it will be yours. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. God bless you.
Amen.
And have a blessed night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye
God
for now.
bless you.